Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from the Waiting to Wed subreddit from Bubbly Note 5492 and says, "The ring is in our apartment and I'm getting ready to end things. I've 30 female, been with my boyfriend 31 male for almost 2 years. We discussed marriage early on and seemed aligned. A few months ago I moved in after we agreed an engagement was our next step. We picked a ring, he bought it, it's sitting in our apartment, and he even announced to his friends and family that we were ring shopping / getting engaged. Then a couple of nights ago he revealed that he's not sure he's ready for engagement or marriage. When I asked why, one of his reasons was that he's worried he didn't sleep around enough. He said it was a dumb reason and he'd probably regret losing me over it, which is why he hasn't ended things or cheated on me. Wow, yay, congratulations. At one point he actually said the words, "I don't see us getting engaged in the foreseeable future, and they say when you know, and I'm not sure you're the one." He even brought up ethical non-monogamy. I initially panicked and said I'd consider E&M. I still wanted to be engaged to him. He's a good partner in many ways, and I'm pretty open-minded, so maybe? But the more I processed it, the more I started leaning towards ending things. I left the next day to stay with family to figure out my thoughts, and let him know I'd be back in a week or so to talk. I think he assumes we're staying together. I have a strong feeling that when I go back, he'll have another epiphany and claim he's ready to propose just so he doesn't lose me. But I don't want a man who marries me out of fear of loss. I want someone who is thrilled to marry me. If he's this uncertain after 2 years, what's a week really going to change? Will this desire for another woman just pop up again when we have kids and it's harder to leave? I'd hate to let him backtrack now, only to face this again when I'm older and even more attached. I feel so dumb for not heeding the obvious warnings, and either way, I'd always have in the back of my mind that he's just not sure. That's definitely not a quality I want in the man I'm choosing to spend my life with. While I was quite sad at first, part of me is feeling excited about dating again. Staying in this relationship would mean that I'm blocking myself from finding a better fit and settling for someone who's unsure. Leaving means I'm opening up the possibility of meeting someone who knows they can't wait to marry me and build a life together, and that's what I want. Currently, I'm working on solidifying my headspace over the next few days so I don't get manipulated by an "I don't want to lose you" speech when I go back. I'm generally very empathetic and understanding, but I know I need to be logical and decisive over this. He doesn't want to end it and would be very happy to continue as we are. It's not a bad life, but deep down, I think I'd regret settling for this. Reading posts here has been comforting and clarifying and has helped me feel more ready to walk away. Hopefully, someone feels comforted by this post in some way too. Send me luck and strength for when I go back in a few days to break the news. Bloody hell, the relationship ended for me the moment he said I don't see us getting engaged in the foreseeable future and I'm not sure you're the one. I mean, really? Everything after that was just some kind of like damage control, because can you imagine marrying someone knowing those words came out of their mouth? I certainly wouldn't be able to move past that. And the whole thing about "I haven't cheated on you" like it's some incredible act of restraint. What the fuck? It's the bare minimum, mate. Basically comes down to if someone tells you they're unsure you're the one, believe them the first time and just get yourself out of that situation. I can't see it being worth it. Maybe people have a different opinion on that, but for me, I'd be like, nah. Within the same post, Opie adds an edit that says update. I called him and ended things. I realized I needed to schedule the move out with our building, otherwise there'd be no parking for the truck, and it'd be notified automatically then anyway. So I figured I'd just do it over the phone and get it over with. I felt a bit guilty about a phone breakup, but realistically, he just told me he no longer sees us getting engaged and he wants to sleep with other people. So perhaps I'm not the one who should feel any guilt here. He was a bit shocked and asked some questions, but I was very final and basically said, "We want different things, so this just makes sense. I really appreciate your honesty. This way we can both find what we want. I have a better move out plan now too. My mum is driving back with me Saturday morning with a U-Haul, and she'll be there to help me pack up everything and get out. Very glad I won't have to spend any time alone with him or more nights in the apartment. I can update again after the move when I'm all in the clear." So a commenter said to OP, "What would change if he gave you a ring now? It'd still be exactly the same guy, it's just now you have a pretty ring. Opie says yep, and even if he seemed like he changed, I'd always have this in the back of my mind. Can't really come back from this, so the only real way forward is ending things. Commodore says the truth of the matter is you'll never see him the same now, even if you go back. The way he spoke to you, the flippancy with which he brought up non-monogamy, the casual cruelty of saying you should be grateful he hasn't cheated on you, his immature and disrespectful desire to sleep around more will all ring in your head each time you look at him. Irrecoverable, which is a great gift to you. Hold on to the hope you have for your future and get out of there. Better to be single than to be engaged to a man who is just plain gross. Opie replied saying I agree. I'm glad he was so honest because it makes the decision very obvious for me. It would be dumb to stay and I'd have no one to blame but myself after hearing what's on his mind. Another commenter says, anyone else think he cheated on her? 1. Suddenly does not want to get married. 2. He hasn't slept around enough. And 3. Let's try non-monogamy. Opie says it's definitely a possibility. After what he said, I guess I wouldn't be shocked to find out he actually did cheat. Either way, he's already revealed more than enough info for me to know that he's not the man I want to spend my life with. Commenter says, that guy's going to look like an idiot in front of his family and he deserves it. Having the ring right there in the apartment and telling you he isn't sure, that's just cruel. Don't waste your time on a moron who thinks women will line up to sleep with him instead of realizing how lucky he is to have you in his life. Opie says thank you. He was lucky to have me and he knows it, but he's not ready for marriage, at least not with me. I'm glad my eyes have been opened now instead of years down the line. Commenter says he's willing to lose you over his concerns. I'm glad you're ending it. You deserve better. If you had agreed to an open relationship, I bet you anything you would have problems if you started getting more attention and dates. I've read relationship columns where that scenario has become a cliche. Opie says even worse. He said that even though he knows it's not fair, he'd prefer an ethical non-monogamy relationship where only he sleeps around because he wouldn't be happy with other men being with me. Lol. I should have broken up with him that second, but I guess my feelings temporarily got in the way. There's no way to come back from that now though. Ick. Commenter says, girl, run. He just told you the truth finally. Be glad he didn't trap you with marriage and kids. Be sad for a while, then be free. You're going to find a better partner than one who didn't get laid enough. Commenter says, ugh, haven't slept around enough. That's a new one for this sub that I've seen. I almost threw up in my mouth. OP, be warned, after he's been out there for 6 months or so and hasn't been able to get laid nearly as much as he wants and feels cold and lonely, good chance he comes slithering back like the snake he is. Don't be stupid. Don't take him back. Nothing will have changed other than he realized he's not getting nearly as much sex as he thought he would. OP says, I'm loving people's disgust at his desire to sleep around. It's helping me further develop the ick about him. Thank you for making me chuckle. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he tried to reach out after a while. I have no plans to take him back because I don't think I could ever get over what he said. There are so many men out there. It'd be silly to get back with one who's already proven himself to be a bad fit. So OP comes back into the post 9 days later and updates and says a few people wanted updates, so I'm back to share. Long story short, I ended things and moved out. Long story long, moving out went surprisingly well. He helped pack and carry boxes, gifted me some expensive things he bought for us while we lived together, etc. Then at one point we were alone and he did the speech some suspected would happen. Things like he loves me, doesn't want to lose me. It was so hard not talking to me this week. I'm his favorite person, etc. I told him I appreciate it, but we just want different things, so ending it is the right choice. He said he doesn't think our wants are that different in the grand scheme of things. I told him our timelines are different then, and he said he doesn't think our timelines are that different. I said something about how either way he's not ready now. We're in our 30s, it's been 2 years, he still thinks he needs more experiences. Edit, in case you didn't see my last post, he said he felt like he hadn't slept with enough women yet, lol, etc. And I'm just not willing to wait for him to decide. I want someone who knows what they want. He said he didn't want me to leave, but understood why I was doing it. He admitted he thought about doing a grand gesture to keep me, but knew it wouldn't be right given his uncertainty. He said something about how he's going to try and get this out of his system, and he knows I'll be living my life / might meet someone else, but to not be surprised if he reaches out to try and get back together. Another accurate prediction from some of the sub members. Lol. Overall, he said many things and was pretty reasonable. He cried, which made me cry, but at no point did I waver in my decision in the slightest. Even though it's sad and obviously not the outcome I wanted after 2 years, I'm still 100% confident that leaving was the correct thing to do for me. I guess you should never say never, but I honestly don't see us getting back together, even if he has a transformation. I think it'd be hard to feel safe and secure in a relationship with him again after this. I don't think he's a bad guy, just a bit immature and indecisive, and ultimately not what I'm looking for. Now I'm just getting settled in my new place. I'm lucky to have a family with spare rooms, and taking a bit of a pause before I start dating again. On one hand, I feel ready to get back out there with more clarity than ever. But on the other hand, I'm not sure that it's a great idea / a look to be dating under 2 weeks after ending a 2-year relationship. So I'll give a bit of time. Then I'll use the lessons I learned in this relationship to spot red flags earlier and make better dating choices. Thanks again for all the supportive comments on my first post. Reading them really helped me feel even better and more confident in my choice. I really appreciate everyone. Thank you. Opie had some information on her ex and his confidence levels and says, he says he had poor social skills / was pretty overweight / was kind of a hermit for much of his younger years. And then just in the past few years he lost some weight and started feeling more confident. I guess now he thinks he needs to try and relive the youth he missed out on or something. It's kind of embarrassing, isn't it? He says he was socially awkward and pretty overweight and kind of a hermit for most of his life, and only lost weight and developed more confidence about a few years before we met. I can't remember how many women he said he slept with. I believe it was over 7 and under 15. He was still a bit overweight when we met, and he gained some weight throughout our relationship. I didn't love it, but I was okay with it because I liked him for other reasons. But I can't say that he's super hot, lol. He is tall though. Based on what he's told me about his dating experiences / what I know, what men generally experience, I don't think he'd be drowning in options. The commenter says, the thing that gets me is the line of, I need more experiences. What the fuck does that mean? I've been married almost 36 years, and I get very antsy and want more experiences. My husband is not as adventurous. Guess what? We do most of our experiences together. That's the point of being in a relationship. I have also had many experiences by myself when my husband was unable to join me. I've also experienced a lot of things with other family and friends. Getting married is an adventure in itself. You don't stop having experiences because you get married and settle down. I can't tell you how many things I've experienced as a mother of 4 children. I'm talking hiking, biking, outdoor and indoor activities and trips. What he really means is that he doesn't want to give up the idea of dating more women. I bet that is what he really meant. He doesn't have an out if he's married to you and decides he's interested in someone else. That's a no-go, but the I want more experience excuse by itself is just that, an excuse. Opie says he absolutely meant he wants to sleep with more women. He actually explicitly said that. 1.5 weeks ago when we first had the conversation, that made me go stay with family to get some space and clarity on what I was going to do next. He suggested ethical non-monogamy, so he could sleep with more women while keeping me around. No thanks. People were suggesting to OP to get therapy for herself so she can move forward in a healthy way, and OP says thank you, and yes, I think therapy can be so great. I worked with an excellent therapist a few years ago, and she helped me so much. I wouldn't have been able to walk away so quickly without the time I spent working on myself with her. I stopped seeing her when she went on maternity leave, and then I never restarted. I think about looking into her availability again sometime. And OP responds to one more comment about the ethical non-monogamy and said he asked if I consider ethical non-monogamy yes. Part of me knew what I was going to do right away, but I wanted to give myself some space to process because it takes me a while sometimes. This conversation was in the evening and I left the next day to stay with family. Broke up with him before I returned to the apartment. Why on earth did I talk to him while he cried? I guess because I'm not able to immediately go from wanting to marry someone to being completely indifferent to their tears. I cry at commercials and children's movies. I'm not that stoic. Lol. We spent 2 years together and had a lot of good times. Believe it or not, he did a lot of nice things for me. Consistently took me on nice dates he planned, paid attention to things I mentioned liking, and bought them for me for holidays or just randomly. Put a lot of effort into helping me achieve personal goals, etc. None of that makes me okay with his lack of desire to marry me / his desire for more partners though, which is why I broke up with him. But I don't just hate him all of a sudden. I don't think there was any going back from the very first part of the post. As soon as those words came out of his mouth, that was it. It was game over. And whilst the comments were questioning OP on why on earth did you talk to him, etc. And I get what OP is saying. They've been together for some time. We're only reading a very small part of their lives, and they got history, so whilst I can imagine some people can automatically switch to indifference, it's not always the same for some people, is it? So I don't blame OP for the way she handled it as well. I think she handled it in a good way for her, and I wish her all the best going forward. But what do you guys make of this situation? How would you have dealt with it if it was you? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, our next story comes from Laptop Situation from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit. It says, am I the arsehole for borrowing girlfriend's laptop? She works from home. I don't have to work but have full salary. I kill time by watching shows, playing online games, and hanging with girlfriend when she's not working. Yesterday, my laptop broke. I don't know what's wrong with it and will have to bring it in. My girlfriend has 2 laptops, one for work and one for fun. Her work is encrypted or something, so she doesn't like using it for general browsing. I asked to borrow her extra laptop yesterday for my game. She said after a movie ended because she was streaming from fun laptop to TV and working at the same time. It would be about 1.5 hours. When she went to the washroom, I took her fun laptop and switched to a similar movie on Netflix. I don't understand why she had to watch this movie right now. She has Netflix, Amazon, Crave, and Disney+, so many options to choose from. Like she's a bit privileged with a smart TV in her room, her guest room, and her living room, an Xbox, PS4, Switch, and N64. Sometimes I think she's having the best of everything. Anyhow, she got really upset with me and said I violated her boundaries. Big fight last night. She made me sleep in the guest room. My guy friends thinks she's overreacting, like it's just a movie. This morning she said she slept on it and feels like we need to break and asked me to leave. I left this afternoon to my parents but borrowed the extra laptop until I got mine fixed. She called me freaking out, called me a thief, said she will call the cops, accused me of being an arsehole, but my mum thinks she needs to chill. Maybe do a spa day or something. Like she has 2 laptops and all these gaming devices. I think she'll be fine. So am I the arsehole for borrowing my girlfriend's laptop? What is with this guy's attitude? He asked and she said yes, just wait 90 minutes and then you can have the laptop, but he seemed to decide that the answer didn't matter because he wanted it now, and then decided to steal the laptop when he was basically kicked out. He's saying it's borrowed, but you didn't have permission to borrow it, so therefore it's stolen. But I also was feeling like there was hints of resentment in this. How about you guys? Because he talks about her being privileged and liking the best of everything. It just came across as resentment to me. And I wonder how much in the past she's sinned from OP to get to that point of actually kicking him out. I can't imagine this was a one-time thing. The top commenter said to OP, this can't be real. Obviously you're the arsehole. You took her property without her permission, and then when she broke up with you, you took it with you after leaving her house. What the hell, dude? This can't be real. Nobody is this dense. OP responded saying, I don't believe this is a breakup. She said we're taking a break. I'm assuming that's a me staying with her type break. We have never lived together prior to this and thought we'd give it a test run. I've been at her place about 7 weeks now, and this is the first real fight we had. I'll admit I was a bit of a dick for taking the laptop. I haven't used it yet and I messaged her saying I will return it. No cops have come to my place yet and I've been home for several hours, so I think it was an anger threat. I just feel she greatly overreacted for one thing. Commenter says, yes, you're the arsehole. It's her laptop, not yours. Give it back and be a responsible adult. Get yours fixed or get a new one. She's not spoiled by having all these things. She works hard, earns money and buys them like a responsible adult. OP says, I'm not saying she is spoiled, just that she has a lot of options and maybe she overreacted a little bit when I took her laptop initially and now it has escalated. Commenter says, will your mother tell the cops they need to chill too when they appear at your house because her son is stupid and thinks it's alright to take someone's property without asking to borrow? Steal. You can't be this much of an airhead. And I hope you'll give it back because this is illegal. You're the arsehole. OP says, my mum meant chill for like her to calm down so we can talk about it reasonably. I will return her laptop, especially since it seemed to escalate her. When we spoke on the phone earlier, she was freaking out and threatening to call the cops. I couldn't really squeeze in there, sorry, I will return the laptop. So my mum said to wait for her to chill out, maybe some self-spa day thing, because she does that to calm down from a rough day. Commenter says, if she has a smart TV, why did she need to stream from the laptop? OP says, legit, that was half our argument. Why couldn't she use the smart TV to stream? Why did she have to connect the laptop? She said she has a site she streams from that is not an app and doesn't lag. An Android box would be better than connecting the laptop. So OP comes in with an update and says, so after a long conversation, my girlfriend has told me that there were a few things in the last 7 weeks that has upset her, and that she felt she gave me many hints. She didn't tell me outright though. I told her I was sorry and it was really a dick move for me to take her laptop. My brother dropped it off earlier. I am 23 male and she is 26 female. Don't know why people want to know that. She accused me of using her for free housing, food and stuff. I talked with my brother and he said it's common sense to chip to these things because she's my girlfriend and not my mum. I guess I'm an idiot, but at the same time I wish she just straight up asked me for money to contribute versus we're running out of toilet paper or we just used a quarter of gas on this trip. Oh bloody hell, that update didn't get any better, did it? What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's have another story. Our next story comes from Beast Mode. It says, girlfriend wants to bring a stranger's children books on our flight. We're flying to Scandinavia for vacation from Spain, and my girlfriend offered to help a stranger in an expat Facebook group to bring a children's book back for their niece who forgot it. I told her that I would never bring a stranger's items on an international flight and would not touch that book, and it has to go in her hand baggage. She called me heartless and paranoid. I managed to dig up tons of articles of drugs and other items smuggled in books. She is now mad and says she would rather go to jail to believe in kindness than to share my paranoia and negativity. Even though these countries are not known for these things, I would never take the risk. I told her to ask her to post it. I told her if she wants to help, tell her to post the book and we can pay for the shipping. I offered to pay half. It would also arrive much faster than in 1 to 2 weeks when we are back. She told me she is not going to do that and it's a stupid idea. Now she is mad just before our vacation. Am I the arsehole here? In a perfect world, sure, but unfortunately we don't live in one and there's plenty of people out there who's willing to take advantage of someone trying to do a good deed, which I know is incredibly sad to say, but unfortunately it is the truth. It's not about assuming everyone's even a criminal, it's just not putting yourself in a position where you're going to get yourself in the shit, and big shit as well. Every airport literally asks you if anyone gave you something to carry for them, and the correct answer is supposed to be no. I mean, you even offered to pay for track shipping, which was far more the sensible option. And the girlfriend acting like refusing to carry an unknown item makes someone heartless or paranoid is wild to me, because there's a huge difference between being kind and being naive, especially when you could get yourself in a huge amount of trouble. A commenter says to OP, how many times have you traveled by air and been asked if you were carrying anything given to you by strangers? Commenter says it's pretty weird to go to these lengths for a standard kids book. Easier to buy another one than enlist a stranger going to the same place to track it down, pack it in their luggage, then return it to the owner. The only exception would be if it's a valuable first edition of a classic or some other valuable children's book, in which case the natural thing to do is contact the place you lost it, ask them to post it and pay the cost. Commenter says post office exists for a reason. Another one says yeah, there's no reason it can't be shipped unless there's something suspicious in the book that will get caught during the shipping process. Commenter says, or if the pages are laced with drugs. Commenter says, or some stolen item is inside the binding. They busted a group smuggling stolen art inside Bibles a few years ago. I thought it was funny. Another commenter says, not the arsehole. When my wife and I were returning from the US, TSA asked us to check the book she was carrying during the security check to ensure there was nothing hidden in there. Just flip through them. Better heartless and paranoid than an interrogation room. Oof. OP comes in with an update and says, hello. Thank you everyone for your replies. I read them out loud to her. She has agreed to not accept the book. In the words of my girlfriend, the world sucks because you can't do kind acts for others because there are shitty people that take advantage of that. That is where her frustration stems from. We're all good now. She apologized and laughed at some of the comments. Have you considered if she is a spy? Lol. OP continues. Also glad some other commenters said they learned something, including me, and thank you for those that pointed out it was good intentions. Overall, I love that she is this thoughtful and it comes from a good place. But then she also agrees that she can also be gullible. Also glad to see the normal dumper comments. Never change Reddit. Today I learned you can lace pages with drugs. Take care out there everyone. Thank you. P.S. in her words, good she has me who hangs out on Reddit. Lol. I swear I saw a news article in the UK a couple of months back about a gang that was jailed after hiding drugs in books or something like that, and they were trying to ship them to Australia. And I get the girlfriend. It is sad when you can't help someone because you don't know what they're truly doing, but you have to be safe in this world because there is far too many people who will literally take advantage of kindness. And again, it feels like really shitty to say that because it is awful, isn't it? It's incredibly sad, but they absolutely will. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories. Your love, your support, your time, it always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.